Hello students, welcome to the video class for the subject generation, transmission and distribution. So this is for 4th semester diploma electrical engineering students. So today our topic is the performance of short and medium transmission line. So here we will going to discuss about the different types of transmission lines, that is short, medium and long transmission line. And under short and medium transmission line we will discuss its performance. That means we will calculate its voltage regulation, its transmission efficiency, its sending end voltage, its losses, everything we will calculate, we will discuss throughout this performance of short and medium transmission line. So let's start. So first of all we discuss about the classification of overhead transmission line. So a transmission line has three constant R, L and C: resistance, inductance, capacitance, okay, distributed uniformly along the whole length of the line. So the resistance and inductance from the C form series impedance, and the capacitance existing between the conductors for single phase line or from the conductor to neutral for a three phase line forms a shunt path, okay, throughout the length of the line. So therefore the capacitance effect introduce complications in transmission line calculations. So depending on the manner in which capacitance is taken into account, that overhead transmission line are classified as, first of all, is the short transmission line. So when the length of an overhead transmission line is up to about 50 kilometer, okay, and the voltage, line voltage is comparatively low, that is less than 20 kV. So length is up to 50 kilometer and the voltage, line voltage is less than 20 kV, it is considered as short transmission line. So due to smaller length and lower voltage, the capacitance effect are small and negligible. So while studying the performance of short transmission line, only resistance and inductance of the line are taken into account. Okay, then medium transmission line. So first short transmission line understood, then medium transmission line. So when the length of the overhead transmission line is about 50 to 150 kilometer and voltage is moderately high, that is greater than 20 kV but less than 100 kV, okay, it is considered as medium transmission line. So due to sufficient length and voltage of the line, the capacitance effect taken into account over here. So for the purposes of calculation, the distributed capacitance of the line is divided and lumped in the form of condensers shunted across the line at one or more points, okay, it may be at the middle of the line or it may be at the two end of the line, okay. So then the next one is the long transmission line. So when the length of the transmission line is more than 150 kilometer and voltage is very high, that is greater than 100 kV, then it is considered as long transmission line, okay. So for the treatment of such line, the line constant are considered uniformly distributed over the whole length of the line and rigorous method are employed for solution. But in your syllabus you studied about only short and medium transmission line, okay. So before going to the performance, just know some important terms. First of all, first one is the voltage regulation. So what is this voltage regulation? Okay, the voltage regulation is what? See, the difference in voltage at the receiving end of a transmission line between conditions of no load and full load is called voltage regulation and is expressed as percentage of receiving end voltage. Okay, so mathematically it is represented as percentage of voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus Vr divided by Vr into 100. It is mathematical representation where Vs is the sending end voltage, Vr is the receiving end voltage, and it is calculated with respect to receiving end voltage. In other words, you can we can call it as the difference in voltage at the receiving end of a transmission line between the condition of no load and full load. The no load condition is when we consider the sending end voltage, and the full load means when we consider the receiving end voltage, okay. So the voltage regulation, it is desirable that the voltage regulation of a transmission line should be low. That means the increase in load current should make very little difference in the receiving end voltage. So generally you just remember that the voltage regulation of a transmission line should be low, and as we increase the load current, there is a very small or very little difference in the receiving end voltage. Okay. And other definition we can write that the uh, if sending end voltage is represented as Vs and receiving end voltage represented as Vr, okay, the voltage drop, that is Vs minus Vr in the line, is expressed as a percentage of receiving end voltage, is called voltage regulation. Okay. When transmission line is carrying current, there is a voltage drop in the line due to resistance and inductance of the line, and this results that the receiving end voltage is normally less than the sending end voltage. That's why Vs minus Vr is the when Vs minus Vr is the voltage drop in the line, and it is expressed in the percentage of receiving end voltage, that is also called as voltage regulation. The next term is the transmission efficiency. The transmission efficiency is normally receiving end power divided by sending end power into 100. So power obtained at the receiving end of a transmission line is normally less than the sending end power because of the losses due to line resistance. Okay, so the ratio of receiving end power to the sending end power of a transmission line is known as transmission efficiency. So this is the equation formula for transmission efficiency. So its formula is C, receiving end voltage, receiving end power, that is the power delivered to the load, that is VR IR cos phi r, and sending end power, that is the Vs Is cos phi s. So Vs is the sending end voltage, Is is the sending end current, cos phi is the sending end power factor, VR is the receiving end voltage, IR is the receiving end current, cos phi r is the receiving end power factor. Then VR IR cos phi r divided by Vs Is cos phi s into 100. This is the formula for transmission efficiency. Then performance of single phase short transmission line. What is the performance for short transmission line? Let's discuss for this. So in case of short transmission line, the line effect of line capacitance are neglected. Okay, so here only resistance and inductance of the line are taken into account. So the equivalent circuit of a single phase short transmission line is given over here. This is the equivalent circuit for short transmission line. See, this is the sending end voltage shown over here, this is the sending end current, then this is the R resistance, XL inductive reactance, this is the load, this is receiving end voltage. Okay, total line resistance and inductances are shown as a concentrated or lumped instead of being distributed. Okay, this is the total line resistance, this is the total line inductance. Okay, so in this case I is the load current, R is the loop resistance, okay, that is the resistance of both conductor. Okay, then XL is the loop reactance, VR receiving end voltage, cos phi r receiving end power factor, VS sending end voltage, cos phi s sending end power factor. Okay, so this is the phasor diagram shown over here. Okay, so in this diagram this is for lagging power factor. Okay, so here our reference line is the I. Okay, see, this is the I. If I is the reference line, and in case of, see here it is there is a line resistance and line inductance, that means it is an inductive circuit. So in this case the current lags voltage. Okay, so if I, see here whatever I is there is sending end current is equal to the load current or receiving end current, so it is represented as same current I. So if I is the reference line, then this I if sending end power factor is cos phi r, then this current lags the voltage VR by an angle phi r. So this is the VR line drawn over here, this is the VR line drawn over here, this is the angle phi r represented here, this is the I reference line. Okay, here I lags voltage by an angle phi r. Okay, so here consider a right angle triangle ODC. Okay, so next see, while going from receiving end to the sending end, there is some voltage drop in between this through this element. So voltage drop across R is the I into R, and voltage drop across this is I into XL. Okay, so in case of resistance, the voltage and current are in same phase. That means this IR represent a voltage and current through is I. That means this voltage is in phase with I. So if I line is here, then this I into R is what? Parallel with this. That's why like this it is in same phase with with I. So I into R is here. Okay, then I into XL. Here this leads current, or you can say in this case current lag IXL. Okay, so here this is rho. So here now this IR is in phase with I, and then next is IXL. In the inductance case, we can say that current lag voltage or voltage lead current. Okay, by an angle 90 degree. Okay, so see this IXL, from this it is drawn up to this. This is IXL. So this is 90 degree with this current. That means voltage leads current by an angle 90 degree, or you can say current lag voltage by an angle 90 degree. So this is IXL. So after this, if we join this from O to C, this gives us BS. This is the angle ODC. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is E point. Okay, and then now angle between I and BS is phi S. Clear? This is the phasor diagram. So from this diagram, OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square. So see, OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square, and OD is what? OE plus ED, and DC is DB plus CB. Okay, or BC, DB plus BC. So this is written over here. OC is the BS square is equal to OD is the OE plus ED whole square plus DB plus BC whole square. So OE is what? OE is this line. Okay, this is VR. What? This is VR cos component cos phi r, and this is ED is IR. So it is written over here VR cos phi r plus I into R. Then DB plus BC. This DC is divided with DB plus BC. Then this is VR sin phi r plus IXL. This DB. Okay, this is the VR sin component. So sin phi r plus IXL, which is written over here. VR sin phi r plus IXL. Then whole square. So BS is equal to what? Root over of this whole term. Root over of VR cos phi r plus I into R whole square plus VR sin phi r plus I into XL whole square. This is formula for BS. Okay, then the percentage of voltage regulation is BS minus VR by VR into 100, already discussed. Then sending end power factor cos phi s. Cos phi s is OD by OC. See, cos phi s is what? Cos component OD by OC. This is the base, this is the hypotenuse. So OD by OC. You can write for OD, this is VR cos phi r plus IR. Then for OC it is BS. This is the sending end power factor. Then power delivered VR IR cos phi r. Then line losses I square R. Then power sent out is the VR IR cos phi r plus I square R. So the transmission efficiency is power delivered divided by power sent out into 100 is equal to VR IR cos phi r divided by VR IR cos phi r plus I square R into 100. This is a formula for percentage of transmission efficiency. Okay. Then another way of calculation is the by using complex notation. Okay, so consider this phasor diagram. Okay, in the previous case there is reference is the I, reference line phasor is the I, but here the reference phasor is the BR vector. Okay, see, BR vector, this is the reference line. If VR is reference line, then current what lags voltage by an angle phi at the receiving end side. So here I is drawn over here. If I is here, then from the, if we go from receiving end side to the sending end side, okay, this is the receiving end side, this is the sending end side. Here VR is the reference now, and now again there is a drop IR, then IXL, and after we add all these vectorially, then we find out VS, that is calculated through complex notation over here. See, VR is the reference line and I is lagging behind VR by an angle phi. Now IR is what? This is also voltage drop across resistors, and this is in phase with current. So here I is like this, so here also I drawn like this. This line is parallel with this I. Then IXL is what? Voltage drop across inductor, and it is 90 degree. It is leading 90 degree. Okay, leading I by 90 degree or right angle. So from this line making right angle to this line, which is similar to this line also. This line making angle right angle to this line means this IXL making right angle to this I line. So here IXL is drawn 90 degree with IR, and after this, if from this up to this, now if we join these to this, we got VS, and when we join this to this, this gives us I into Z, and now the angle between VS and I is, this is the cos, this is the phi S, and angle between VS and VR is alpha. Okay, so this is solved over here. See, VS is the phasor sum of VR vector and I vector into Z vector. This is shown here. VS vector is the phasor sum of VR vector and I Z vector. Okay, I vector into Z vector. So this is calculated over here. So VR vector is equal to VR plus J0. It is now written in complex notation. Then I vector is I vector angle minus phi r, that is I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. This is polar form. Okay, because here current is lagging behind VR by an angle phi r, that's why it is written negative minus phi r. And when we simplify this, I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. This is the complex notation of this polar form. Then Z vector is equal to R plus JXL. Then VS vector is equal to VR vector plus I vector into Z vector. Okay, VR is the VR plus J0 plus I whole into cos phi r minus J sin phi r into R plus JXL. This is the overall equation for VS vector, and after solving these things, we find out this VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r plus J IXL cos phi r minus IR sin phi r. Here the real part and imaginary part are separated. Now VS magnitude is equal to what? Root over of this real part square plus this imaginary part square. VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r whole square plus IXL cos phi r minus IR sin phi r whole square. So the second term under the root is quite small. Okay, and can be neglected with reasonable accuracy. So therefore the approximate expression for VS becomes VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r, because here root over and square cancel out each other. This is the approximate formula for VS. So following points should be noted over here, that the approximate formula for VS gives fairly correct result for lagging power factor. Okay, it gives correct result for lagging power factor, but but appreciable error is caused for leading power factor. Okay, so when we consider for leading power factor, there should be some error. So therefore approximate expression for Vs should be used for only lagging power factor. Then the solution in complex notation is in more presentable form. So this is all about our performance of short transmission line. Then the three-phase short transmission line. In case of three-phase short transmission line, these are the just the equivalent circuit diagram. No need to calculate these things because this is not in your syllabus. Just go through the basic things. In formula you just have to know that, see, percentage of voltage regulation, that is what here IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r by VR. See here the formula is Vs minus VR. So approximate formula for Vs is what? Value for Vs is the this one, VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r. So this applied here. So VR cancel out, then remaining part is IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r divided by VR into 100. This is for lagging power factor. Okay, and then for leading power factor it is IR cos phi r minus IXL sin phi r divided by VR into 100. This is for leading power factor. So following conclusion can be drawn from the above expression that when the power factor is lagging or unity or such leading, that IR cos phi r greater than IXL sin phi r, then voltage regulation is positive. That means receiving end voltage VR will be less than the sending end voltage. For a given VR and I, the voltage regulation of the line increases with decrease in power factor for lagging load. Okay, so voltage regulation of the line increases with decrease in power factor. Then third point is when the load power factor is leading to this context, to this extent that IXL sin phi r greater than IR cos phi r, then voltage regulation is negative. Okay, just reverse of this, when IR cos phi r greater than IXL sin phi r, voltage regulation is positive, but when IXL sin phi r greater than IR cos phi r, then voltage regulation is negative. Okay, here the receiving end voltage VR is more than the sending end voltage VS. So for given VR and I, the voltage regulation of the line decreases when there is decrease in power factor. Here see, here voltage regulation increases with decrease in power factor for lagging load, but for leading load case, voltage regulation of the line decreases with decrease in power factor. Clear? Then the next is the transmission efficiency. So if transmission efficiency for single phase line, power is equal to VR into I into cos phi r. From this we can calculate I is equal to P divided by VR cos phi r. This, see, for short transmission line, this I represents also receiving end current also. So here we can tell that this I is the sending end current, also load current, also receiving end current. So I is equal to P by VR cos phi r. This is for single phase line. And for three phase, the formula for power is 3 into VR into I cos phi r. So P is equal to, I is equal to P divided by 3 into VR cos phi r. So here voltage is the phase voltage. Okay, so this is one problem solved over here. This is already solved in your online classes. So just go through this problem, through this equivalent circuit diagram, through this vector diagram, phasor diagram. So go through these calculations and you can understand this problem by going through these calculations. Okay, so this is already solved in your class. Just try to practice all these calculations by using the formula which you read through this session. Clear? So these are all about your short transmission line. Okay, so